Hello, all you unicorn light loves out there. I hope everybody is staying safe and sane. I hope you're doing okay out there. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you are returning or a brand new subscriber, welcome also. This is a wonderful time to be here. Absolutely. We've got an excellent reading coming up. Messages of love and power. So these messages were meant to find you. Let's get you some messages of love and power. That's really exciting. First of all, I do want to announce that the free course Beyond Fear 3-day course is now up and running. The link to the Unicorn School of Light is down below. Just go in and register and you can go ahead and get on that free course. I do hope you guys do it. It's an excellent course. We very often, stick with anxiety and depression and think it's a part of us. And when we realize at the core where it comes from, and we realize that our personalities are absolutely infinite and flexible, and we can change anything we want, then we can really, really shift our perspective and come out of these anxious thoughts. So this 3-day course would really help you do that. And I set it for free on purpose because I want everybody to be able to do that. So again, the link is down below. Go in, register, and go and get some love, light, and support. It's for anyone who feels like they need it. Empaths, sensitives, starseeds, light worker, however you identify or don't identify, it's all for you. And if you are joining us for the 21-day Unicorn Abundance, giving your inner child some really, really fun stuff, welcome. And I do want to say that it's still at the $33, the introductory rate that I started off with, because it's my first course. So if you were thinking about getting on that, it's going to be $33 for a little while longer, and then it won't be anymore. So that's definitely a course to check out also, to get in touch with your inner child, and you'll see why when you do the free course. And again, that's at $33 for now. So if you were, borderline on that, I would get on that sooner rather than later and get it at the cheaper price. All right, my darlings, let's get right into the reading. As always, we have set up the candle here, and it is set for healing and abundance, and also you can project upon it to release whatever it is that you're trying to release, to bring in that healing and abundance. It's dressed with magic oil. If you've been with me here before, then you know that this was dressed it was made under the full moon with an eclipse. So it's very powerful healing magic manifestation oil. So this session is definitely set up for a little bit of magic, a little bit of healing, a little bit of practical advice, pretty much whatever it is that you need. So as always, we have 3 piles. I try to think of little icons, what we could use for love and power. So I decided to use these fridge magnets. Again, I'm really loving them. I totally promise you that I close my eyes when I pick these, because who wants to see before? I mean, that takes away like the whole fun of it. So the first one is pile 1 is boy. So for obviously for love, that could be boyfriend, or gender neutral. It could be just masculine energy coming in on your significant other. Pile 2, we have lake, and I immediately thought of still waters run deep, so that could be a really interesting messages in pile 2. And then pile 3, which made me laugh, the word luscious. I mean, if you're going to have a love reading, would you not want the word luscious in there? That's what I thought. So as always, take as much time as you need. If you need to pause the video, the timestamps will be down below. The more you resonate with these readings are very much dependent on how aligned you are with the energy. So, go off, meditate if you need to, at least take a couple deep breaths. And, again, put the video on hold, on pause, until you get yourself right in your head, right back where you need to be, so you can get these messages and align with them. And I didn't even realize this, but we actually have the lotus flower here, which is a beautiful little symbol. I'm going to put that there. I didn't even know that was there. So that's a little extra unfolding of beauty and gorgeousness there. So let's go ahead and put these aside for now. And we will come back to those later. So if you chose pile 1, let's recap. We have the healing candle here for you to either project upon and to release old energy, or to bring in magic, love, abundance, manifestations, anything that you have your little heart set on, basically. And these are messages of love, power, and meant to find you right now. So you chose boy, pile 1. So I've separated this. So these are going to be your love readings here. And this is going to be, oopsie, wait a second. How did I do this? Yes, and this is going to be your power reading. So let's put your power reading aside and let's get right into love, if that's okay with you, pile 1. So let's see what we have here for love. Okay, you have the Garden is your first card. You have self-respect. And you have Magician. And I hear snoring, so I think one of my cats is in the room. So I'm just warning you, just in case they jump up. If you've watched any of my other videos, my cat Lily, and actually my other cat Mildred, often does that. So I'm just giving you a heads up just in case, because I definitely heard Kitty snoring. So the first thing that I'm seeing for you, pile 1, in regards to love, is that you definitely have gone through so much in order to attract it, and you're absolutely ready. This person that's coming in, I feel as though you have a psychic connection with. For any of you who have been with me with other readings, I'm not crazy about like the whole twin flame kind of thing. I think that gets sort of blown out of proportion. So we're going to talk soulmate here. But there's definitely somebody that's owed to you, because there's a psychic connection coming in here. I would say that if you can see here, you've got the two, they look like doves to me. There's two of them coming in the mind here. You've been connected through ancestors, not related, but you've been connected through past lives. It's almost like you know the same people. Now that could be in a literal sense. You meet people, you meet them through people that you already know. Or it could be somebody that you've never met before, but you've had a past life with. But the connection is very intense. I feel as though you've both been on your own journey. And that, how do I say it? There's no judgment here whatsoever. But, you know, what I'm picking up, pile 1, is that love was not necessarily your forte per se. You know, you either, you know, rejected it because you sort of wanted things on your own term, and you were happier sort of being on your own, or you attracted the wrong sort of person, a person that was a taker because you're very sensitive and you wanted, you're a natural caretaker. You also attracted people in the past who didn't necessarily pay attention to you or see you in the way that you wanted to be seen. It's almost like they saw you for what they could get, if that makes any sense. So there may have been a period of your life where you decided that you just weren't going to do this anymore, that you were done until you could work on yourself and attract other people. This is what you were doing. Or, you know, you went out there and you had some fun, but when you realized that it couldn't go any further, the relationship, you sort of cut it off. But there wasn't anything sort of serious. And even if there was something serious, you knew in your heart it really didn't have a future. So there wasn't... there hasn't been anyone in and around, and these are general readings, so bear that in mind, but there wasn't anyone in and around, at least in the last 3 years, 1 to 3 years, that you really had your eyes or that you had your heart set on. It's almost like you've been window shopping. And I think that's been great for you, because you've been, you know, tending the garden, figuring out yourself, enjoying your own personal freedom and what that means to you. Again, you might have been in situations before where your freedom wasn't really honored, and you were constantly in dramatic situations, or it felt like you were always catching up with yourself, or always running after this other person, or sorting something out for them. This also corresponds with sort of friendships too. You've often attracted sort of very dramatic people, and you know, I can say for you, pile 1, you thought that that was sort of normal. You may have grown up in some sort of dramatic sort of situation where you figured that this was a normal thing to be around people who weren't naturally peaceful. So when there was this level of drama, you were there to help. You're also very calm in these situations, and usually people come to you. So when you were in these situations, or you were in these relationships, and we're going to go back to the love relationships, these love connections, they were either sort of chilled, but they didn't really see you for who you were, or you didn't feel as though you could really be seen for who you were, or they were somewhat dramatic. For some of you, again, the general readings, there could have been some sort of substance abuse, but there was some kind of family dilemma, or there were traits in the family, in the ancestors line, that the person that you were with had not taken time to really divulge and go deep into. Whoever you were with, to cut a long story short, way too late, but the best way to cut to right to the point, the best way to describe it is that you've been working on yourself, shadow self, one way or another, but the people that you've attracted haven't really. So you went off to do the actual work, because, this idea that you have to be completely healed in order to be with somebody is absolutely ridiculous. When you come together, when you meet this person, and I would say it's like 3 to 6 months, because this is definitely a coming in for you, of this person coming in. But this, there's going to be a new level of healing. And there's a part of you that believed that you could heal with somebody else. But, you attracted the wrong sort of people, and it almost made you want to shut down a little bit more. So that's why you've been tending your garden. You've been figuring out you, and also standing for your own magic and power, what you're willing to put up with here. I want to get just a few more here. With this. Now, let's talk about the person coming in. This person coming in has been actually working on their own shadow work. Now, when you come in and you start talking to them, you're going to feel as though they're home. They feel like home, whether you've known them before or not. It's going to be like one of those unions where it feels natural. You'll also find when you have a conversation, it'll be very quick, very easy to get on with, but these conversations will come up very quickly. You'll notice that you've either lived in the same places, you've gone to the same places, you probably know people in common, you've been through the same situations at the same sort of time, but you may not have met each other, but you've been through the same sort of circumstances at the same time. Creations, the flames of destruction will ignite a rebirth. Absolutely, that's what you've been working on in yourself, and your significant other has been also. And again, when you get together, you'll be, I can't believe it, I was there too, I can't believe we didn't meet, or this is definitely a divine timing moment for you. So when this divine timing comes in, enjoy it. You've been waiting for this. Calmness, to calm your monkey mind, do not feed the animal. That's the other thing that you've been doing too with past relationships. Sometimes you've wondered, or you've been hard on yourself about what you've put up with, or why you stayed with that person, or what you did. All of these were lessons for you to learn. The only thing that you need to learn is, and I wouldn't even say it's self-respect, it's just self-honoring. You needed to learn that, because you definitely, the boundaries, you're used to being the savior. Now, again, this is a general reading. For some of you, it could have bordered on being a martyr. I'll put myself last, but I'll help you out. And then at the end of it, you're completely depleted. Now, I feel as though this has gone backwards and forwards many times with you, and you've really figured this out and really been working on boundaries. So this is not necessarily something that's come in full-fledged in every single one of your love relationships, but there's been a twinge of that. You've had to have some self-respect, what it is that you're going to put up with, and you've decided you're only going to put up with somebody that's worthy of you. None of these people were worthy of you, and I don't like saying that, because we're not saying that you're better or anybody's worth, but really, at the end of the day, it's always all about what work you're willing to do, and you're always willing to do the work. But why should you wait to have love in your life? if the work isn't completely done. So I totally understand. It's almost like you poked your head out. Who's out there? It pulled somebody into your life. That was your life lesson. This person is not going to be your life lesson. This person is going to be your life. Now, this is the person that you've dreamed about. This is the person you've already had psychic awareness with. This is the person, now if you meditate, you'll probably be able to bring in their mind. Because they're coming in so quickly, you should be able to get clear messages. Now, way back when, I can't remember when, but if you are new, or you're a new subscriber, or you're thinking about being a new subscriber, and if this resonates with you, please absolutely come join the family. I did do future spouse, future a few episodes. You know what I mean? A few readings. So you might want to go and check those out. That will give you a little bit more information, more specificity. Oh, that word's not going to happen today. More specifics on the situation. But this person is definitely connected to you. Again, through past lives. This is a soulmate connection. This is a family unit connection. This is somebody that you can have either children with or adopt children. For some of you, you're not thinking about having your own children, but you may want to adopt. It is a family unit oriented situation. This is a person that you heal with. They're coming in with their own magic. They have a sense of calm, a beautiful sense of humor. The way in which you will be looked at, you've never been looked at like that before. It's going to feel weird to you, but this is what you deserve, Power One, so stick with it. It's going to feel weird to you. This boy, I mean, we could change this boy into man. This person that you're bringing in is definitely a grown-up, but at the same time, that's a childlike sensibility. Somebody that's, not rigid, somebody that's flexible. That's another thing that You've had these seemingly sort of flexible, easygoing people, but when you actually got to know them, these are your past loves, they were actually quite rigid and set in their ways. And it was you who had to sort of change your ways to be in and around them. This is a situation where you both come in, you're both flexible, you're both going to be making the rules together. And that's something that you've not had before. This person has a very strong sense of either a religious understanding, not big on religion myself, but spirituality, a very strong sense of self, but a flexibility. It's this moral code that's going to be very much in alignment with who you are and where you're going to be going. They're going to be handsome. For a lot of you, I see tall. I know it's really cliche, tall and dark, but I do see that. And for some of you, I see an accent also too. And for some of you, I can see you going, ooh, that's nice. So yeah, it's somebody that's, you'd be surprised in a way. For some, again, general reading, for some of you, you'd be like, I can't believe this person is my soulmate, because in many ways, different culture, complete opposites, wouldn't put us two together. But when you actually start talking, you're like two peas in a damn pod. So it's going to be absolutely incredible. I'm going to pick a fairy dust one for you too. And again, go ahead and check out those other videos and see if you can get some other interesting stuff. Because I did those videos earlier on in the year, you might be able to get, that's what I was picking up on then. This person is so close to coming in, and this person has done so much work on themselves. There's not as much except for their magical intake of who they are and their magical sense of self and their beautiful energy. They really are sort of grounded and integrated. So that's what I can pick up on right now. I mean, your happily ever after is absolutely here. And for some reason, I'm picking up on wolves too. It could mean different things for different people because it's a general reading, but I'm picking up on wolves, connection to wolves in a pack. Perhaps they have a very strong family line or very strong friend line that they see as family, and you'll be introduced to that and they will become yours. But I see, the wolf kind of emblem, even like some of your loves, like even a wolf around their neck, something like werewolves, wolves, I definitely see that. Like I even hear the howling. It's kind of weird. Flowers will brighten up your space and create a very friendly place. Absolutely. Now, if this person isn't directly into magical thinking, they're very open and they will love that you are. They're definitely the sort of person that will come back and, I thought of you, so I got you this. And again, it's something that you're not, you've been with somewhat thoughtful people. They were thoughtful people in their own way, but this is a new level of thoughtfulness. This is absolutely beautiful. Being treated like a princess or a queen without being intimidated by you or trying to control your power. Pure acceptance of who you are, in awe of who you are. Absolutely gorgeous. So while we have you here, let's do your power reading. What have we got here? All right, so we've got the King of Swords reversed. I'm just going to go ahead and put these over here. Voyage. You already have all the answers. Sorry. Gotta check in there. Make sure the computer's not doing its thing. Sometimes it likes to do its own thing. I don't know if you get this, but with psychic energy, sometimes computers and everything go absolutely haywire. It's very exciting for my partner, who is always trying to help me out as things like almost blow up. So I do like to check on things. Okay, King of Swords reversed, Voyage. You already have all the answers here. And then we have the Age of Light. You've been training for this for a lifetime. So this is your power. Absolutely gorgeous. Personal growth. And number 7, which could be your power number 2. It's also the chakras that you've been working on all the way through. I think you can see all of that. So this is self-explanatory really here at the end of the day. You have been working on yourself. Your power comes from within, not external. Now you know this intrinsically, but this is something that you've been pulling in and working on in a really, really huge way. Not looking for external validation, not comparing yourself to anybody else. Enjoying the way in which you do things, and having and really embracing your own sense of quirky sensibility. The other thing that's coming in very strong for you too, please listen to your intuition, to your inner voice that tells you when to speed up, when to slow down, because that's your sense of power and your truth. Your truth and power are depleted when your energy is depleted. So for some of you who are, in full-fledged, getting out there and doing whatever they need to do, that's wonderful. But if, your soul is asking you to slow down, you're very much in tune with your intuition now. In a way that's primary to who you were before. You've always been very intuitive, but you've kind of ignored that before. And then, sort of down the road, you've been like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here. How did I get here? Oh, that's how I got here, because I didn't listen, X, Y, and Z. You don't do that anymore, because you do listen as you're going down, but you do listen to your intuition. You don't ignore it, but sometimes you push it aside. I will get to that. Let me finish this first. Let me finish this up first. Your real message for power here is to enjoy the journey as it's going. Don't get wrapped up in the end result. Enjoy the journey, enjoy the personal growth of the journey as you move through it. Slow down, enjoy the moments, and in those moments you can really tap right into your power and your truth, because if you go full steam ahead and you sort of negate your inner child and you don't listen to your intuition, or again, you're not really actually negating your intuition, but what you are is you're pushing it aside. Yes, I'll get to it. I know I'm supposed to slow down, but then you're not as in touch with your power and your true essence, and you get depleted. And that's when some of the dark thoughts can come in, a little bit of the doubt, or you're just like, why am I doing this? You get a little down on it. Why am I doing this? Because you're not obsessed, but you can overfocus. You can overfocus, Pile 1. So when you're overfocusing on reaching the finish line, and this intrinsically, there is no finish line. It's all about the journey. It's all about the destination. But for those of you, and this could be just, as a just general reading, this could be just for a few of you, but if you are over-focusing on the finish line, please slow down, get back into your intuition, because we can turn this right side up. Your power and your masculine side is really getting out there and trying to get everything done. It's almost like you sense this person coming into your life. You want everything fixed up and done. You want the house looking beautiful before they come on in. and before they come into your life. I totally understand all of that. But really, it's, measure the masculine energy of moving forward with the intuition energy of the divine feminine coming in to balance out. Enjoy every moment. Enjoy the growth moments. Enjoy where you are. Don't be so obsessed with the numbers, who's signing in, who's signing on, how much money's in the bank. These are all very specific things, but the masculine energy you've been really clicking into lately, and it's been absolutely wonderful. But click back into the divine feminine, into the inner child, just to balance out so you can slow down, get right back into your power. Now, you haven't lost your power. The essence of your power is right there. It's just that you're a little bit imbalanced with the divine masculine now. But it is divine masculine. The way in which you're using your divine masculine is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you're moving ahead. You've got things. You know what you're doing. You've got all the right moves. There's just no balance with the divine feminine. That's where the real power comes in. So with the voyage here, you already know you have the answers. The voyage is in many different ways. The way in which you're working with your inner mind is really powerful now. You're really shifting your sense of pride, your sense of autonomy here. So there's a voyage with the inner mind that's shifting. Your sense of identity has shifted. You now realize, I talked about identity at the beginning, the introduction here. I really talked about the fact that our personalities are extremely flexible, but we don't realize that. We think we're set in certain ways and we accept certain ways of being. And that's why we get set in our ways a little bit. Now, that's not happening for you. You absolutely know this intrinsically, how you work with your inner self. Now, that inner self is absolutely going to coat the outer self and going to bring in the manifestation for a move. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a move on the horizon. It might happen quite quickly. Or if you're offered a job somewhere else, or an opportunity somewhere else, or somewhere, you clear your mind and you start, all of a sudden, Santa Fe, that's what happened to me, but it'll happen differently to you. Santa Fe comes into your mind. All of a sudden you're like, why don't I move there? And that flexible sense, and then everything starts fitting into place and you move on. This could be where you meet the new person. So yeah, I met my partner in Santa Fe. I kept having dreams about it and decided that I needed to move. Never been there. Made absolutely no sense. Got on a plane with my 2 cats. That was fun. And thank God there was whiskey on the plane. And, and then I didn't meet him right away. There was things I needed to do. But, he was stationed here. He was here. There's a karma in your plan. There's something going on with some kind of movement, and it's mirrored from the interior to the exterior. So you definitely have an interior movement that's happening that will definitely mirror the exterior movement coming in. Now this could be something, a trip that you're taking. It seems to be connected to work or some kind of course that you're doing, something that you can bring into your working life. But that's definitely on the horizon. You've been training for this for lifetimes. This is something that you already knew, but you're coming into the understanding of it now in such an extreme way. I think for you, there was a huge amount of power on your part. You knew there was power, but you also knew that there was so much work to be done. You've done the shadow work, pile 1. You've done everything you could possibly do. You were so damn prepared for everything and everyone that's coming into your life. It's unbelievable. But you're tired of all of this. Sometimes you just say, I'm done. I know that I've been training for this for lifetimes, but I'm tired. Maybe I don't want to be here. You've had these pockets of sort of, which I totally understand, by the way. Yeah. I totally understand. I'm with you 100%. But you've come into the understanding of this in a new way, where you're not resisting the energy of your own power. You're like accepting the understanding that you absolutely are here and you have been training for lifetimes, and you are ready to reap the rewards for all the personal work that you've been doing. And it's not been small, like we've said. And you are about to reap all of these incredible, incredible rewards. Absolutely, completely, and indeed. I'm really excited for you. I just want to get you one more fairy card here. Fairy energy is coming in and fast. So let's see what we have for you. Family. Wherever you go, whatever you do, your family is here for you. So that speaks on many different levels. That speaks for the person that's coming into you. This is definitely somebody who builds a family with you. For a couple of you, again, these are general readings. They might already have a family, like kids. You might have them too. There'll be a pleasant melding of those, but it will be a new family unit coming in. If neither one of you has kids yet, then this is a family unit. Whether you adopt, you decide to have children, that's totally, obviously up to you. No one's going to tell you any different. That's totally up to you. But this is somebody you can have a family unit with. This is somebody who's going to feel like family. This is, I don't want to, this. I keep getting the words payoff. This is your payoff, but it feels like, oh, there you go. It feels weird saying that about your significant other. There's your payoff. But this is again not the ending. This is the beginning of your brand new way of being in the world when you meet this person. Many different opportunities will happen. Both your frequency will be, super high. You'll be able to stay at that frequency. You'll be able to support each other in a way that you've never really had before. And again, this person has not really had it either. So it's this new foundational level, and really working with somebody else. It's going to be really nice to be able to really have your back. You've been used to be doing, again, a general reading, but most of you have been doing things on your own. You're ultra independent, and, some of you might be a little bit nervous. I'm used to doing things on my own. It's not going to be natural for somebody to come in halfway and be able to help you out and not want anything back, like just want to be there, and be supportive. So, allow that person to be able to do that, but take the time to really to hone in on this energy as it comes in, and enjoy it when it does come in, and enjoy all these energies that are coming to you, because you've done all of this work, and this is now time for you to really enjoy and repurpose this work and see how this work, all this inner work that you've been doing, how it projects out to the outside, and how these manifestations are coming in and showing you how brilliant you are. It's absolutely incredible, Pile 1. So if this resonated with you, do feel free to give me a thumbs up. I would love that. And of course, subscribe. It really helps the channel. Click that bell icon so you never miss a reading. 2, maybe 3 a week. That's where we're at. Do feel free to kick. You could do that too. Click that link down below and get yourself into that free course, 3 days beyond fear, and anxiety and depression. And of course, we still have the $33 of the 21-day of that beautiful course that we're doing with the unicorns in your inner child there too. We're still at that introduction price, so that's something that you can treat yourself to. All right, my darlings, until we meet again, I really hope you enjoy this person coming in. Like we said, it's going to be it's going to happen really quickly, definitely within the next 6 months. It's feeling that way. There's a lot of energy coming in the fall for love. So enjoy it. You deserve absolutely all of the beautiful blessings that you're about to receive. So stay safe and sane. And until we meet again, Pile 1, bye-bye. Okay, Pile 2, if this is you, then you chose the lake. Here we are. So we have the lotus flower that sort of appeared and is guiding these sessions. It appeared in Pile 1, so we're just leaving it here. And of course we have our candle, our magic candle, dressed appropriately, as they say. You can either project upon it any way that you want, or you can bring in some beautiful healing manifestation. However you want to use it is completely up to you. So here we go. Messages of love and power meant to find you. So the first thing that we're going to do is go for love. And with your lake, still waters run deep. Why not? These are your power cards. We're going to put these over here and come right back to them. So the first thing that we have is reparenting yourself. That's your first card. And then you have luminosity. It's a beautiful card. And then you have the Knight of Pentacles. So the first thing that I'm getting here is that somebody that's coming in for you is I don't know, I don't like the word necessarily, but I'm going to use it, is owed to you from a past life. I feel as though this person is not just connected to the earth, but connected to their own magic. I keep seeing the image of the green man coming in. And this is the person coming in for you. Definitely lake, still waters run deep. Sort of a very hearty laugh, allowing people to be who they are. Just a beautiful soul coming in. I feel as though the other thing that's going on is trying to figure out, for some of you, these are general readings, but trying to figure out whether you want to start a family or if you want to have a family. For those of you who have already had a family, this idea of reparenting yourself. But the idea of reparenting yourself, for some of you, this is a message for some of you. If you've been thinking about wondering whether you do want to have a child, the answer is you've done enough work, you'll be fine. If you've been doubting yourself in any way, this is your message coming in, that the person coming in, this is definitely somebody you can have a family unit with. This is somebody that will see your luminosity and appreciate you for who you are. In the past, you often were sort of, I keep getting this image of chasing dragons. So the person that you were with in the past, in past relationships, and this is something that is not new to you at all. You absolutely know this. But this person, these people that you've been with before, there was definitely messages and lessons for you to learn. And oh, did you learn them? And oh, did you feel them while you were learning them? And even though you were grateful for these people, some of you may not be so grateful for these people, but as you look back on your life, you're grateful for the objectivity and what you've learned from each of these people. But, you're ready for something completely different, which is why you're sitting down and trying to figure out, can I do this? The way in which you were brought up compared to how you would want to bring up your children, or what you did differently if you already have children. This is something that's coming up for some of you. And the reason why it's coming up is because the person that's coming into your life will want a family unit, whether you physically have kids or whether they have kids, or it'll be an automatic family union, or a family unit, or you come in and you go ahead and adopt whatever it is, that however it is that you make your organic family, is totally up to you. But it will be even pets, however you decide to see it, but it won't be just you and them. So, all of this is coming up for you. The reparenting was actually quite painful for you in many ways. And it took you away from the essence of who you were, just because, again, this is a general reading, but most of you weren't seen for exactly who you are as you were growing up. There were limitations placed on you. There were limitations placed on what you thought you should be able to receive or achieve in this lifetime. And it's weird to say, but we're going to say it anyway. It was nothing personal. It's not like, family members or society or however it is, however you got this impression. It's not like nobody believed in you, although it did seem like that. You took on that energy of it. It was more that there was limitations placed on them to begin with, and this was just going on. But what you had to do to reparent yourself, you had to, again, I've used this word before in some of the others, but excavate. You had to excavate, where somebody else's started, projected upon you, and where you began. And you had to go back to the childlike essence where anything was possible. And you had to recreate that essence of that childhood for you, pull that essence right into your present day, and learn how to be in that mode full time. You can go into that in, out, shake it all about. You do that a lot. And your self-doubt only comes from when you doubt yourself, when you take on that energy. And sometimes when you've reparented yourself, you've gone into the energy of people not believing in you. Again, it wasn't personal. They were doing their best. That doesn't excuse if, there was hard times and things that happened. It doesn't excuse what they did. That's not what we're saying. And it certainly doesn't mean that we're sitting here justifying it. But they did the best that they could with what they had. But when you went back to relocate all of that pain, pain and reparenting yourself, you brought that energy in with you. That narrative stayed with you. You had to realize again where you started and they ended, and then you had to really pull yourself out of that and move into this luminosity full time, which is who you were but then were never seen. Then there was a part of you that said, well, if I was that luminous, then why wasn't I seen for that? Well, part of it was like maybe jealousy too, coming in with such a whirlwind of an energy that you did, not being able to handle it, and then on top of that knowing that you would have these opportunities because you are going to be able to give yourself the space to become who you want to become. That was not an issue. That would not have happened for the generation before you, so there could have been a little bit of jealousy there. So let's go in with some of the chakra love. So this person coming in, 3 to 6 months, this fall is going to be huge for people coming into soulmate reunions. You've known this person before. They're very, very steady. They're very stable. They have this energy about them that's intrinsically, you can trust them. They have this sort of truth. They do not lie. Even if you say something, it'd be like, sweetheart, do I look nice tonight? I don't know if I like those pants on you. Okay, that's the person. They're not meaning to be mean, but they're going to give you exactly the truth. But they'll always be the first person to be like, you look beautiful tonight, and offer that up gorgeously too. There's nothing malicious in what they say, but I will say it's the type of person, if you do not want an honest opinion, do not ask this person and get moody later on, because that's what they're going to give you. There's a beautiful connection to nature, and it's not just being out in nature. Yes, they find peace there. A lot of people do, but there's an infinite connection. They draw their energy from nature. If they're not around nature, they're not themselves. You're like that. These are general readings. Some of you are like that, but you also have this sort of personality where you can integrate into any circumstance, really, with a cup of coffee or a glass of wine. You'll just get on with it, but this person that you're coming into contact with, who will be completely and totally in and around your energy, who will be your soulmate, the family union coming in, they draw energy. I mean, they could have been well traveled, but they don't necessarily need to stay in the most gracious of hotels, certainly, but not, in the Four Seasons. I don't know, is that an expensive one? They don't need to travel with, an American Express gold card. They like to meet people on their own terms. They like to be aware. They like to learn. They have sort of a kinetic, sort of Sagittarius energy, sort of on fire, but mutable, open. That's what I get from them. Let's see what we've got here. Expression. Express your true self. The world needs you. Absolutely. And this reparenting yourself has come back to you expressing your true self and coming back to that true self before you meet this person too, which of course is intrinsic to you having an amazing, love affair coming in, which of course you will. Your expression really comes from the non-doubt. The expression comes from your full authority and authenticity, which cannot be depleted because you are still looking for some kind of consent from the old, from past lives, from parental units, from people in general who did not see you truly for who you were. Now, ironically, this doesn't necessarily have to be family units. It could be people growing up, people who treated you a certain way. Ironically, as you grow into this, as you stay in this luminosity, these people will come back into your life, and it'll be like you were best friends all along. And that's however you decide to take that. You're very gracious. However you decide to deal with that is completely up to you. But these people will be coming back. Because they are seeing you for how you saw yourself. You're not seeing yourself through the lens of others' disappointments, seeming disappointments in yourself. You're seeing yourself objectively. It's this objectively beyond the foundation of the old, beyond the foundation of other people's opinions of what they believed you could achieve. So it's a luminosity on your own terms, which stays permanent instead of coming in and out. And this idea of the chameleon too, of showing that a luminosity at certain times, now you can stay within who you are at all times. And just really be you in all your authenticity, and just sort of relax into this quirkiness, this brilliant sense of humor that you have. For some of you who really do struggle with saying the right thing, it's almost like you're expecting to be judged, because that's the way you felt like you had to live within a box of expectation. Well, that's shifting now. You're just gonna free flow and say what you say, and the right people will be around you, instead of like overthinking before you say something, and trying to anticipate how other people are going to see it. That dumbs down your luminosity, that dumbs down your power, and you don't need that anymore. So let's see what we have. All things to work with, best in conjunction with all things. So yeah, there's jade, smoky quartz. There's a lot of things that you can do there. That's practical information, and that's totally wonderful. But I want to get you something else here. Harmony makes the song of life sweeter. Absolutely. And that's your chakra balance, harmony. And this is really a reading about harmony and coming back into your harmonious nature. And on top of that, attracting somebody who is worth your soul. And this is a brand new beginning for you and this person coming in. This person connected, very sort of, again, green man energy, which I love. His own sort of magic, and this sort of authenticity to him that's absolutely beautiful. He doesn't doubt himself, he just is himself. There's just something sort of harmless and gracious about this person coming in. We want to go into your power stuff too, what we have for power messages, because I think that's going to, spiritual career. That's the first one that came out for me too. This is going to be very much linked to your love, because it's just sort of a brand new beginning when they come in the spiritual career. You might even work together or do something sort of similar to each other, parallel careers. Dragons, slay them all. Absolutely. This kinetic energy of you reparenting yourself, the crumbling. What are you clinging on to? So we do say in these readings very often, even if you are resonating with them, you might be at different times. You might be still in the crumbling phase of the reparenting phase. You might be in the luminosity phase where you've come in on the other side of that. You may have just met your new partner coming in. You've got the King of Staves reversed. Again, we don't need you to doubt your power. The way in which you will slay your dragons, slay them all. You have the right to go in. You have the right to be angry when you reparent yourself. This idea that you need to dumb down all of that anger, or, say you should have seen me for who I am. You get to say that. You don't have to say it to anybody's face, but you get to say it. And for those of you who are in the crumbling phase, this is not the dark night of the soul. We want to be really clear. You've done the work. This is the old systems, the old projections that are crumbling within you. This is a good thing. Focus on the luminosity. Focus on what you're going to get when you come on the other side of this. Allow this to happen, but you can actually take the power back. Take your power back, use that anger, use your sword, use your luminosity to reclaim lost fragments of your soul. That came up in pile 1. All the way through, and I think even pile 3, because I'm going back to record this in pile 2, so I've kind of done this out of order a little bit this time. But your spiritual career will absolutely be helping others to do this, using your sword of anger. There's a beautiful way to use anger, to take it, to use it as a catalyst. You have every right to reclaim your power from it. There's nothing, there's something about rising up in your power and reclaiming it and slaying the dragons, rather than just saying, I'm going to meditate and release. There's nothing wrong with that either. That's a wonderful way of doing it. But for you, the catalyst of anger will really serve you as you go in and slay those dragons. Allow the old projections to crumble. People didn't get to see you, didn't give you the chance to become or to see you the way that you wanted to be seen. And they didn't credit you with a lot of what it is that you achieved. I feel like, even when you achieved things when you were younger, they either didn't think that you did it, or they didn't really, they wanted more from you. They didn't, there wasn't a lot of like, praise in that way. It's almost like they thought you were brilliant, so they didn't really need to give you more, to stand by that, just in case you got a big head, or they didn't think that you could do it at all. So when you said you did it, they didn't believe you. It was just you weren't seen for the brilliance and the luminosity that you already had coming in. So the doubts that you've had throughout your life, whether you could achieve things, they were difficult for you, because of the way in which you were treated. However, that is shifting with the reparenting yourself, and with the spiritual career, you'll be able to help others do this too. You'll be able to help others redirect their energy to grow into their authenticity and to stay in that sovereign being that they are. You'll also be able to help people with love, bringing in love, manifestation, money, manifestation, love, all of that. That's the sort of thing that you'll be doing. You'll also intrinsically know how to speak to people and how to talk them through self-doubt, because you've been there. So yeah, everything that you've been through, you'll be able to help others through this too. I mean, that's the beautiful part of it too. But the reparenting of yourself, please let it crumble. Don't, if you're at that stage where all of this stuff is coming up and all this anger is coming up, it's a really good way for you to really understand who you are, versus who they told you you were. So allow it to crumble. Again, it's not the dark night of the soul. You've done the work. You're actually, this is just a 3-4 day period as you grow into this luminosity. This is clearing the way for this new person to come in. This is going to be a brand new frequency coming in your life. Let's see what we've got here for the fairy cards. Be strong. When trouble seems to be brewing near, your inner strength will keep you clear. Absolutely. Again, if you're in that sort of prideful moment of like not wanting to break down, not wanting to crumble, being a little, trying to keep control of it, but at the same time being angry, knowing that the dragons need to be slayed, the old needs to be left. Just be strong. It's not the dark night of the soul. You're going through this. This is a way for you to reclaim exactly who you are on your own terms and keep in the energy of luminosity in this lifetime on your own terms, completely and totally. Not going, so you're not going back to an old story, going back to the old version of yourself that's based on other people's insecurities. This is your brand new beginning, which includes a love coming in, which is going to be wonderful. So let's get you one more fairy card. Send you on your way, fairy style. Okay. Animal healing. No matter the creature, earth, sky, or sea, animals show us how true love can be. Yeah, your soul is really precious and sees the beauty in others. And that's the other thing to you that's absolutely glorious, because the way in which you've been treated, the way in which you've had to reparent yourself, the way in which you may have even doubted if you would be a good parent at some point. And of course you would, but you had to wait, or you had to learn and put yourself in a position where you had to reparent yourself, and in other words, to get back to who you were, to help the next generation. It's because of that, because of everything you've been through, because of who you are, you see the beauty in everyone. And animals are really intrinsically beautiful. Animals and children, the innocence, the beauty, preserving that beauty, preserving that energy for as long as possible. You have a lot of reverence for that. You would be excellent mothers and fathers, just because you understand intrinsically what that innocence is and how beautiful and how precious it is, because you really didn't have it yourself, and you can bring that into your childlike existence, into your children's future, in and around animals and kids, and they absolutely feel that from you, so they would be in and around you and immediately trust you. You're the sort of person that, you know, a mother would hand their baby to and go, I'll be back in a minute, that sort of thing. And that's a beautiful side of you, that when the harshness, when you've come back from slaying your dragons, you know, to really allow yourself to go into that beautiful soft side of you, which you don't always allow yourself to do, because, you know, you're slaying those dragons. You have to prove to yourself, you have to keep everything up. but this luminosity is sending you on a path that where there's real peace, there's real beauty. You're just relaxing into who you are naturally, and you're allowing the flow, everything to come to you instead of this masculine energy of trying to chase everything. Now this person coming in will be very much coming for you. That always sounds weird when I say that, but they'll be coming into your life. There's nothing that you have to do. Just allow this process to go through, no matter what part of the process that you're in. Allow this reparenting, this crumbling to occur, and know that your green man is coming in. You know, the person that you will become, you've always been that person, but the person that you will stay after being on the other side of this beautiful way of crumbling is it's going to be gorgeous. This, again, this luminosity, this authenticity, this grandiose, humble, beautiful, considerate, gorgeous person that just, you know, spreads magic wherever they go. That's you. That will be you from now on in. So slay those dragons, only you know how. So if this resonated with you, pile 2, do let me know in the comments below. I always love hearing from you. Feel free to give me a thumbs up. And of course, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon if it resonates. It's really lovely to be able to have you here with us. And also feel free to click down below and get your free 3-day Beyond Fear course. It'll be really, really wonderful. You just have to go to the unicornschooloflight.com. Just go right into the school and sign up for the three-day Beyond Freedom, Beyond Anxiety, Beyond Fear. That'll be wonderful. And also we have our 21-day Working with the Unicorns to Manifest Abundance. Your inner child will love it. That is still at the $33 mark. So if you want to get in on that mark, that's an introduction rate, then go ahead and do that because it's wonderful. Come join us and have some fun with the unicorns. Okay, my darlings. Pile 2, you take care of yourself, stay safe and sane, and until we meet again. Hello there, pile 3. So if you chose Luscious, this is your pile. Luscious, full, ready. Definitely a beautiful, beautiful word for upcoming love, right? We also found the lotus flower, so I've left it here for all of the readings through pile 1, 2, and 3. I think I found it just randomly. So that's extra energy. And also don't forget the healing candle. You can either project upon it what you want to release, or you can bring in abundance and manifestation. So as a reminder, messages of love and power meant to find you. So that's what we're doing today. So the first 3 are for love and power, and then we're going to then we're going to check in with power a little bit later. So let's see what we have here for you. The distorted masculine is your first card. The sacred woman, that's beautiful. And the 5 of Wands. So there's a little bit of overlap with energy. They are different with 1 and 2, but also the cycle of what it is that we've been, what it is that you've been going through to prepare for this too. A little bit of overlap. Also, there seems to be something energy-wise, universe-wise, with soulmates coming in the next 3 to 6 months. I've heard this from other directions too, and I definitely feel it for people coming in. So this is definitely a luscious time for you. It's also a time for you to learn how to trust again in a really profound way, pile 3. Trading in the distorted masculine for the divine masculine. Really making peace with a distorted masculine icon in your life and pulling in the understanding of the divine masculine in your life in a way that it's not only an ideal but something that you know that you can have. I feel as though there's been a lot of anger and there's a lot of pressure to conform to the understanding of what the distorted masculine wanted, and the way in which you used your masculine side of yourself too was that, you know, the sacred woman was always there. You have profound magic. You came in with profound magic in this lifetime. You've had many lifetimes where you used that magic. It may have been your downfall in past lives, but you've had that magic. But and you've been very much in touch with that magic. You knew that you had the sacred warrior understanding of self, but yet it was wrapped in a lot of anger, of putting up with the idea or the understanding of the distorted masculine. Now, this comes up as part of your love reading. So the idea of fighting with this energy and pulling in, like really discarding, letting the distorted masculine fade away, literally fade away. Not giving any more interest, any more of your energy to it, pulling in the understanding of the divine masculine as that comes in. This person that's coming in for you, every single person, every single reading, pile 1, 2, and 3 have had this person come in for them. There is somebody coming in for them. Now, this is somebody for you. These are general readings. For some of you, you're not really interested in having somebody come in right now. If you're at the process, I always say with these readings, even if they resonate, you could be at different points. If you're at the anger part where you're still angry at the distorted masculine, looking round at the chaos that's going on right now in the world, which is, absolutely... if that's not the distorted masculine, then I don't know what is. And being angry and somewhat triggered by it, but also keeping your sense of sacred self, and really understanding how you hid that sacred self, how you had to hide that sacred self, really coming into an understanding of your past lives too. You came in with needing to protect that sacred part of yourself. And even in this lifetime, even when some of, even if you did sort of pronounce that sacred part of you, there may have been others around you with the distorted masculine iconography, or the who had really honed in on that and really understood and wanted to live by the distorted masculine, who may have either, as we say at home, taken the piss, or sort of disrespected you in a way, dumbed you down. So there's been anger there, and there's been this inner sort of struggle to be you and to be you and honor you in all aspects and not be angry at the distorted masculine, to be able to let go of it completely and bring in the essence of the divine masculine. Again, this person that's coming in will be brand new, but this is the process that you're going through in order for this person to come in for you. Dreams are where your mind translates the divine. So this is something that you've been bringing in, a version of yourself. Now you have this version of yourself firmly in mind, and at times we're using terms that you achieve that person, but you don't always stay there. Now the word achieve means that you have to work for it, and really all it is a shedding of the old for you to remain in the sacred woman without having to dumb yourself down, without having to fight for it, feel as though to protect it, without spending your time and energy fighting the old systems who were not really set up to respect you in any way. They were set up to disrespect your power in the most physical of forms, but also to not really allow you your power, because it's better dumbed down. The distorted masculine is definitely afraid of your power and what you stand for, and this angered you too. You will also turn that anger a little bit inwards. You were angry at yourself for allowing this to happen for you. You're angry at yourself for being angry. But you're coming out of that, the strength, this warrior strength, this pure justice of this organic kinetic energy of being out there in the world the way that you want, making the changes that you want, without succumbing to this energy, without being triggered by this energy, by being balanced by the divine feminine, and really allowing the distorted masculine to honestly go F itself, and as it's chaos, as it's crumbling all around us in the world at large right now, allowing those systems within you to crumble so you can embrace every aspect of you and pull in this new person coming in. Let's do some chakra love and see what we have here. To fearless, turn your warrior into to warrior. We just said the warrior woman, the sacred woman. Absolutely not succumbing to the distorted masculine, trading that in, not trading it in, that's the wrong way to do it. Literally excavating the distorted masculine, letting it move away and pulling in the divine masculine, allowing that anger to be placed where it should be with them. Now, anger can be a wonderful, a beautiful way to express oneself and to use that kinetic energy to get the old out. So what you're doing is, in essence, you are at the stage of divulging who it is that you want to be, who you actually are in this lifetime and in other lifetimes, without apology, without fighting yourself, without needing to justify, just being you. And also taking that heavy energy that you had with feeling as though you needed to defend everybody, including yourself, with a distorted masculine iconography, which is now leaving. So it's leaving, it's crumbling right now, and it's leaving your source. It's leaving who you are, and who you are is the sacred woman. Now that, in essence, of who you are is absolutely not only sacred, but has that warrior stance. So you never need to worry that you're not enough. But the doubt that comes up is still because if you're holding on to the anger you have for the distorted masculine, it integrates with your own soul, and you're still part of their system of sorts, because you'll judge yourself. That's the other thing you do. Sometimes you judge yourself because you want to be ahead of what they're going to say about you. So the anger is there, the energy is there, but you're still keeping it around, so you're still able to be influenced by it. This is about pulling it down for good and standing in your own sacred power, no longer fighting inside or outside, and pulling in this new person coming into your life. Now this power, I suspect, yes, it's time. Oh my goodness. It's time for healing, not war. Absolutely. You've used that energy against yourself a little bit. It's almost like you have this, like, if you're going to take the piss out of me, I'm going to do it first. Now, I understand that mentality, and we all should, be a little bit more flexible about how we see ourselves and not take ourselves too seriously. But you've taken that way too far. We also have Soul Family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do this alone. This has been very integral work, but you have done this alone. But you did come in with a soul tribe, with a soul family, with people you have had past lives with people you also hold the sacred woman, the divine feminine within. They can also help you. They also are going through this as a collective thing, which we are seeing on a personal level. They're also going through this too. So you're absolutely not alone. Music is the other one. Yes, and also the Six of Cups reversed. I'm not surprised about that. The idea of the nostalgia of going back. You want to see things as they really were. It's okay to go back and obviously see the best in what came out of family units and this, that, and the other. But sometimes going back and regurgitating sort of the old and how it worked against you, which is something that you keep doing. This reading is about self-empowerment. This is about putting down the sword, using it as the sword of truth. You have that inside of you. You don't need to fight with yourself anymore. You don't need to fight with this energy. It's okay for you to own the anger that you have. You've carried this anger in with you from past lives. I know this isn't specifically, more about the new person coming in. We're not as in depth as we were in the first and second pile. But this is what you're going through now. This person is coming in quite quickly. But this is a catalyst effect of what you're going through. So your messages are to concentrate on this, because the rest of it will, the love part will fall into place. the fearlessness that you've wanted, that you hold on occasion, but also are always waiting for the other shoe to drop, or again trying to stay one step ahead of this energy of this distorted masculine and how they will affect your life and your world. You've paid them too much mind, you've paid them too much attention. Calling back the fragments of your soul, you can do this in meditation from past lives, also from your past in this lifetime. Call those soul fragments back, pull them right back in, ground them into your sense of yourself, the sacred woman, and stand in your own autonomy and sovereignty without the need to acknowledge the distorted masculine, except as a way that it was as a catalyst for you becoming who you truly are. It's something external to you to create the power you needed to rise up on your own terms, but now you no longer need it. No longer need to be looking within to wage that war, or looking outside of yourself to wage that war. It's about bringing all those fragments together, integrating into your sovereignty, honoring the sacred woman outside of any need for the distorted masculine, pulling in the divine masculine, and getting ready for a new way of being, a peaceful, beautiful way of being. Music, meditation, all of that can help you right now. But also look to music for ways of integrating your personality, like things you can physically dance to, anything that you can get the energy out. This is kinetic energy, anger energy. Get it out for you to move forward. It will take all of that warrior into the warrior and the fearlessness. You have that essence of fearlessness, but because you're always judging yourself from the lens of somewhat of the distorted masculine, that fear creeps in because there's this underlying energy that you'll never be good enough. Well, that's because, you know, you've brought in the distorted masculine, which you've been consistently rowling against. You don't need to do that anymore. The war is won. Let it go. You won the war. Now move on. So I know there wasn't too much there about the specifics of your person coming in, but they are coming in. This was the message that was coming in for you loud and clear. I'm going to get some fairy messages for you. But I do urge you to go back to some of my earlier readings. They are timeless. There's specifics on spouse, what they're like. If you're more interested in getting in on some of the specifics there, that will definitely help you out. But this is the message that came up for you today, and I read what's pretty much in front of me. That's my job. So what do we have here? We have flowers will brighten up your space and create a fairy friendly place. I think we had that before. So yeah, the idea of bringing in the divine feminine in order to heal now. Flowers, beauty, elementals, lighten up the energy. You've been very much in the distorted masculine world. Bring in the divine feminine, lighter energy. Bring in that kind of magic for this other end of healing. To come right into yourself. Trust, breathe in and breathe out. Let go of doubt. Absolutely. The doubt came from your correlation to the divine, to the distorted masculine. You're now moving into the divine masculine, coming into a brand new way of being. So all you need to do is trust yourself. Once the system crumbles and you're no longer waging war from the interior, the outerior, and the exterior, then you will actually trust yourself, because the doubt is coming from, again, this essence that you're now pulling down. This is a very exciting time for you to do this, and expect for you to get some help, to be in alignment with your guides at this time. This is like a portal for you. Move through it so you can get to be this person all the time, your firm foundation, and bringing in the traits of the divine feminine at its best. That's why you're here. That's what you will be doing. All right, Pile 3, I hope this resonated with you, and if it did, feel free to give me a thumbs up. Do let me know in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. I don't know if I said that in Pile 1 and 2, but I always love hearing from you guys. And if it did resonate, of course, do consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon. We would love to have you here, and it really does help the channel. Also, don't forget the free 3-day course, Beyond Fear, for sensitives. For those of you who have anxiety and depression sometimes or all the time, there's a link down below and we can help you with that. It's completely free. You just go onto the unicornschooloflight.com, register and get on there and get the help that you absolutely deserve. We also have the 21 days working with the unicorns, bringing in your beautiful manifestation and honoring your inner child. That's still at $33 right now. If you want to join us to do that, that's really fun. So my darlings, until we meet again, please stay safe and sane, pal 3. Take care.